Greetings, brilliant scholars and islanders. Today I want to talk to you about critiquing. Michael used to say that when you're criticized, if it stings a little bit, then there might be an element of truth. So what I suggest is, if you've been criticized, try it on for size and see if it fits. If it doesn't, get rid of it. If it does, you might want to examine that further. I know for me, it's very hard for me to receive criticism, but it's also even harder for me to give it. So let's talk about some ways that you can give criticism in a kind and loving way so that people can improve themselves. So go to Blackboard and open up the critiquing file on your left, and you will see this Word document. And this is what we will use as our outline for talking about criticism today, or critiquing today. So number 1 says, I feel anxious at the thought of critiquing my peers. So I want you to respond with strongly agree, agree, not sure, disagree, or strongly disagree. Number 2, how do you feel about being critiqued? I welcome it. I want to improve. Not sure, nervous, terrified, or I don't want it. Number 3, I am open to constructive criticism and want to improve. Strongly agree, agree, not sure, disagree, strongly disagree. So that's just kind of setting the stage and getting your mind into thinking about criticism and critiquing. So first, let's talk about what you should not critique a speaker based on. What comes to mind when you think of that? What should not be used as a measure of critique? I want you to think of things that are not subject to change. So the first one is age. Don't dismiss a message a speaker might be offering because of the speaker's age. Don't get caught in, if the speaker is younger than you are, don't think that I can't benefit from anything they have to say because of their age. On the other hand, if a speaker is much older than you are, don't get caught in that mindset of they can't share anything with me because they're old. The second thing you should not critique a speaker based on is their race. Sometimes it seems like things out of our comfort zone might be something we want to avoid. But if you dismiss a message from a speaker based on their race, you might miss out. So far we have do not critique a speaker based on age, race. Gender is the next one. I know my mother, probably at my age, probably valued the opinions of a male doctor rather than a female doctor, because that's the way her generation was brought up. Now I wonder if she would be more open-minded and more receptive of a female doctor, especially one at MD Anderson when she goes for her checkups, because of their knowledge of current research in the cancer field. So do not critique a speaker based on age, race, gender, and finally their stature or their size. I know that's very hard for me to do. Would you feel confident going to a dietitian who was morbidly obese? Likewise, Would you dismiss the message of a speaker if they were in a wheelchair or if they were missing a limb? So it's very important for us to put aside, these are all physical things, aren't they? They are physical attributes that are usually not subject to change. So we want to avoid critiquing a speaker based on those. So what should we critique a speaker based on? The first one is content. What do they have to say? You might think, this subject seems very interesting to me. Therefore, you might engage. So content is the first one. The second one is organization. You should evaluate a speaker based on the organization of their content. The third one is ethics. You want the speaker's topic to be something that is ethically sound. You would not think that how to cheat on your taxes is an ethical subject, and it is not. So the three things to focus on are content, organization, and ethics. So that brings us to number 6. What do you think is more important? Content, delivery, or are they equal? For me, a speaker needs to hook me with their delivery first and keep me with their content. How about you? So let's look at number 7. So let's look at some concrete guidelines to help you critique your peers. First of all, we are always going to balance the positive and the negative. I will show you in class the slips that you will be giving your feedback on. They have a space for 2 things they did well and 2 things to work on. And then there's a space for you to give feedback about their attire, what they're wearing. So the first guideline for number 7 is balance the positive and negative. The second one is offer a suggestion. So you might offer a suggestion about what they could do to keep their hands from shaking. Number 3 is be specific. In your critique, be specific about either what they did well or what they should work on. For example, if you thought they looked nice, don't just say you looked nice. Say your shirt tucked in to your pants like that with your belt looked very sharp. That's a more specific critique, isn't it? So the fourth one is don't apologize. Never begin your critique with, I'm sorry, but. And the fifth one is use kind words. Words matter, and kind words matter. So we're going to balance the positive and negative. We're going to offer a suggestion. We're going to be specific. We are not going to apologize. And finally, we're going to use kind words. Number 8 says, this is a scale response, and the question is, or the statement is, I will use these guidelines when I'm giving constructive criticism. Strongly agree, agree, not sure, disagree, and strongly disagree. Number 9, when I am giving feedback to a speaker that I don't particularly like, I will try to keep my personal feelings aside. Strongly agree, agree, not sure, disagree, and strongly disagree. And finally, number 10, I believe that I can critique my classmates objectively. Your responses are strongly agree, agree, not sure, disagree, strongly disagree. So I hope that the past 10 minutes that we have spent together gives you a little more comfort and a little more confidence when it comes to giving feedback to your peers.